guys, this is Kayla Muther with my Death with Dignity PowerPoint presentation. So Death with Dignity National Center mission statement states to promote death with dignity laws based on the Model Oregon Death with Dignity Act, both to provide an option for dying individuals and to stimulate nationwide improvements in end-of-life care. They are a nonprofit organization. They want to expand the freedom of all qualified terminally ill Americans to make their own end-of-life decisions, including how they die. They want to promote death with dignity laws around the United States based on the groundbreaking Oregon model. And they want to provide information, education, and support about death with dignity as an end-of-life option to patients, family members, legislators, advocates, healthcare, and end-of-life care professionals, media, and the interested public. So the history of Death with Dignity National Center was founded in 1993 by Elvin Allisonard, attorney Eli Stutzman, attorney Mark Trincio, Dr. Peter Goodwin, and nurse Myron Coppins. Oregon was the first state to pass this bill by 51% of the votes approved on the ballot. It allowed individuals who are terminally ill to hasten death in consultation with their physician and under strict safeguards. In 2004, the Oregon Right to Die merged with Death with Dignity National Center. So here's a map of the Death with Dignity states. As you can see, the green are the states that aid in dying already. The burnt orange are the campaign states. And all the states with the blue dot are the states that are considering the bill to be put on their ballot. Death with dignity law requirements are the individual has to be 18 years or older. They are capable of making and communicating health care decisions without aid. They are diagnosed with terminal illness by a licensed physician that results in death within 6 months. The licensed physician can only prescribe the lethal dose of medication when the patient has met initial requirements, which is they have to take 2 oral requests separated by 15 days to ensure that they do not change their mind. The patient provides a written response signed by their self, and 2 other people have to witness this that are not related to them. And the physician must inform receiving patient of other alternatives to the lethal dose, such as hospice care. The physician must report the lethal dose medication to state authorities. So the stories of the people of reasons why they chose death with dignity is let me decide to die with self-respect, having a good death, the opportunity to die with dignity, the option of a peaceful death, the right to choose, the option of having control. The list goes on and on and on. So Brittany Maynard, you guys probably have heard of her. She was on social media. She kind of put Death with Dignity Act on the map. She was a 29-year-old. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor in January of 2014. In April of 2014, her doctor only gave her 6 months to live. She says she chose dignity with death because she felt that her quality of life was over. She did not want to live with the side effects or have her family watch her with the side effects, which is her scalp covered in burns, suffering with morphine, personality changes. She wanted her family to know who she was when she died. She did not want cognitive and motor loss. She did not want her family to watch any of these side effects. She decided to move to Oregon with her husband and her mother and establish life there in Oregon per the law requirements. She held on to the medication for months before taking the lethal dose prescribed by her doctor. After the medication was in her possession, she stated that she had a sense of peace and comfort, and she was allowed to live her life on her own terms. She didn't take it for months. She chose to spend that time with her family. On November 1st of 2014, she took the lethal dose of medication in her family home with her husband and mother by her side. So the cultural views of pros and cons of death with dignity. The pros: the patient is no longer in pain. The patient has a sense of peace and power. The family does not have to watch the patient die slowly. The Pew Research Center poll said 62% of adults believe a person has a moral right to end their own life if they are suffering great pain and have no hope of improvement. The cons are: the cure of the terminal illness can be discovered after the death. This will lead to the guilt of family members. Maybe we should have waited. Maybe we should have waited for the cure. Maybe they had more time. The cultural views of religious views that death by one hand is suicide, and suicide is against the law. Cultural belief of suffering has a spiritually redemptive quality. So here are my discussion questions. Do you think if a person is diagnosed with a terminal illness, they should have a say in the matter of when and how they die? Do you think the Death with Dignity Act should be considered suicide? Here's my works cited page. Thank you guys.